Hello there, and today I'm gonna tell you how you can reach Apocalypse plus 25 difficulty as easy as possible and as fast as possible. So further ado, let's begin. But before we start the video, I want to just make it clear that no, there is no glitch for this or anything like that, but I'm just gonna do and share a trick which I always do with my other characters in order to make them push to plus 20 or plus 25 apocalypse level, which makes it pretty easy and pretty simple, and it doesn't even require that much time. I pushed my normal 0 level power level character to plus 15, let's say plus 15 apocalypse let's say plus apocalypse difficulty in just 1 month, which is like pretty long time, but doing without tower is pretty hard. But first of all, what we're gonna take a look at is how are we gonna be able to unlock more difficulties, not how you can just there were two parts, okay, let's just take it in that way. And first thing is, how are you gonna get more apocalypse plus 25 difficulties? So in order to actually unlock the difficulties, you are actually given task of defeat, for an example, plus 3 bosses or 4 bosses, let's say, or even 5 bosses sometimes. Then apocalypse plus 20, that range gives you 7 bosses and 8 bosses to actually defeat, which is like let's say, okay, you can do that, but there is an actual way which is way more faster and better to do it. So there is just order to do this, so let me explain. So if you want to just unlock more difficulties, what you have to do is just manage to reach enough power level of, for an example, you are on apocalypse plus 7 and you want to get apocalypse plus 10, 11 and 12. In order to get that, you have to defeat 3 bosses on apocalypse plus 9. So in order to do that, the best thing to do is actually get into the tower. Now if you're wondering, tower is hard, but until ask me, going through levels and getting a good gear and doing it takes pretty much long time, according to just doing a normal 3 times tower where you get a really good leveled armor and melee weapon and a really good ranged weapon. It doesn't matter what it is, but all you need is a good power leveled item from the tower for now. You don't need to just focus on a specific weapon, for an example, fighters bindings or whirlwind axe, cursed axe, whether it's any of those weapons or armors. You don't need to focus on that right now, because it's not gonna be a good thing to get until you reach apocalypse plus 25, because once you reach that, you would have to just grind for good gear in order to play really easily or complete levels in that difficulty. So it's simple. Do tower like 3 times in order to get a good amount of gear, which is good according to you and your gameplay style, and just keep those things and go in apocalypse plus 9 difficulty and get your or any of your according max difficulty on a lot and do the boss fights. Now here's how you go for boss fights. You just don't pick a random boss fight and just go for it. I'm gonna show you the easiest boss fights to hardest boss fight. So if you have like to defeat 3 bosses, it's simple as like it's really simple. All you have to go for is, first thing is the mushroom monstrosity level. It is one of the easiest boss fights I could ever go for. You ask why? All you have to do is just stand behind the rock when it's doing the mushroom launching thingy, and when it stops you just go for melee attack and etc. It is easy, okay? It's simple. You don't need to just waste your time in that one. It is simple as easy, like really easy. Then what you have to go for is actually you have to go for any two of boss fights, which easiest of them is Pumpkin Pasture and Soggy Swamp. Like, let's say Soggy Swamp is kind of hard because of the cauldron and mid things which just came out of nowhere, for example creeper, baby zombies, etc. But it is easy when compared to other levels, as it is just the second level of the game, let's say. So it is kind of that simple. You don't need to push yourself too much. If you're just losing or dying again, all you have to do is just stop playing for a bit. Just put your mind aside, forget about this, come after some time with a fresh mind, and then do the same thing again. Who knows, you might be playing better after that. So because of that reason, it also makes a lot of difference. Where here's something I would like to say is, if you're like defeat 5 bosses, now what you can do is you can go for any other 2 of boss fights which you find easy. Let's say you have to avoid a Fiery Forge and Obsidian Pinnacle as much as possible until you have like a defeat 8 of bosses. If it's something like defeat 8 bosses, you have only one option. Rather get yourself a friend who's just as same difficulty as you or more powerful than you, or you have to do it alone, and it might be hard alone, as just by the fact you die once and it's over. Where it's you playing with many players, what happens is you can respawn your friends, and it makes the levels so easy, unless your friends just dies in mid of a creeper pit where you cannot respawn him easily or something like that. It makes it that simple and easy as that. And you have to just get your friend at, let's say, around Apocalypse plus 20 territory. When you reach that specific level, the entire game gets so hard to actually progress in hard levels. Like any level you play with normal gear, what you're gonna feel like is like really hard. So at Apocalypse plus 20 difficulty, that's where it consumes you most of the time. At least it did for me. What I gone for was got myself a good gear or complete good build. Now the builds which I like to use is like, let's say, Unstable Robe, Fighter's Bindings, and Hop Crossbow. I don't know why it's Unstable Robe, but I use it. I used to use Ember Robe as it has cooldown on it, and Fighter's Bindings with like a Death Cap Mushroom and etc. are normally good. And you can actually speedrun the levels easily too, just by the fact you have to just get yourself a speedrunning gear and speedrun the boss fights. When the boss fights come, you actually use a tank or a aggressive arm build while fighting the boss. You change it in mid. That sounds really simple, doesn't it? So it's basic, let's say. It's not that big kind of glitches or etc. This is how actually I try to get higher difficulty. It might take pretty long time, not long time, let's say like in 1 month. If you're right now in Apocalypse plus 12 or 10 difficulty, in like 2 weeks, if you do this every single day, in 2 weeks you will be in Apocalypse plus 20 difficulty in just no time, without any problem, let's say. And yeah, that's how we normally do it until ask me. And why I got said the tower was just by the fact, if you're playing on Apocalypse plus 9 difficulty and you have unlocked plus 10, plus 11, and plus 12, when you clear the tower, tower actually gives you plus 12 difficulty geared items. So as many difficulties you have unlocked, as better weapon the tower is gonna give you. Just by the fact that tower is actually making progressing easy. Just by the fact, like, when there was no tower, there was no way of getting items this easily and this powerful. And what you had to do is slowly upgrade your gear, speedrun the same level 3-4 times. That's what I actually used to do. And like and then get my items to around like the same difficulty as plus 12, and then just go for the gear. And then I used to just keep doing the same thing again and again till I reached plus 25 difficulty, which makes it so much time consuming than it does now, just by the fact that tarot exists. There is a reason why tarot is actually getting better for us, just by the fact that it is making progressing easy. So yeah, it might be like it's not the best, but it actually makes the game better, until ask me, for new players or players who are actually trying to progress. And yeah, if you found this helpful, just hit that subscribe button, because I put a lot of efforts in making these videos. And just if you want to appreciate it, like and subscribe and share this video to your friends if they want to just, tips. Yeah, so yeah, if you want to see, make sure you comment down below what you would like to see on my channel in future. Go and check out this glitch, which even might help you in doing the boss fights. I guess this glitch allows you to use unlimited quivers, but it is kind of hard to use. But if you do it perfectly, you can actually do it. So go and check that video out, and I'll meet you in the next video.